So, the idea behind origin story of Wayward Soul is when two things. I used to play these otome games, which if you're not familiar with them, they're Japanese romance book type games, but like they're visual books. I love them. They're a lot of fun, but I can't play them because I don't have the patience. If I want to read a story, I want to read it all the way through, but the way these games are set up is you have chapters and you have tickets per chapter, and I just can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. Marceline. This is Marceline. She's a barky bark dog. So if you hear her, I'm a super professional. I'm not going to cut her barks out, but this is her. Anyways, so I was playing that game. The basis of the game is that the main character falls in love with a devil, and the devil pretty much sells his soul to save her because he loves her. He falls in love with her back, and that's how the whole story goes. And that was rattling around in my brain, and about 2 weeks after, I had a dream. And in that dream, it was basically the first chapter of Wayward Soul. And so I woke up and I wrote it out, and that was that. And then I shared it with a couple people on Wattpad, and my dear friend Casey said, don't do devils, don't do angels, you don't want to open that bag of worms because you're going to get a bunch of religious people who listen to you and read your stuff, and you don't want that. And I'm like, okay, fair. And that's how Sikevas were born. The other thing that I had in my brain was that when Ellie goes to the spirit world, it was going to be this whole thing where just her soul goes, and so she falls into a coma. And then I got to that part in the story, and I was like, how is Mello going to explain to anyone that Ellie is in a coma in her shop? And I didn't want to put Mello in that position because she's not a big part of this story, but I like her a lot, and I might do stuff with her in the future. And so, I didn't want to put her in that position. So, yeah. It turned into a portal type thing, and that's how that worked out. And then this part is a major spoiler, so if you haven't finished the book, I recommend you do that before listening to this part. The whole thing at the end, the reason why Ellie and Drekvik are now roommates is because I had this idea in my brain of Ellie and Drekvik being like Ghostbusters and like capturing spirits and ghosts and souls. And all of these crazy little ideas for like that were funny, that were just like, oh, it would be funny if this scenario happened. What would Drekvik be like at Starbucks kind of thing? And I was like, okay, I need to write that. And I totally didn't write that. That's not what book 2 is at all, but that's how that premise got set up. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little book teaser. Book extra, DVD type extra, but for books. Let's go with book extra. Anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. It's been my pleasure. I'll see you soon.